Hello and welcome to the first section of the Marine Biodiversity Data Mobilization Workshop with an introduction to Darwin Core. Darwin Core is intended to facilitate the sharing of information about biological diversity. So that's really what Darwin Core is all about. It's used by many different systems, including the Ocean Biodiversity Information System, or OBIS, and the Global Biodiversity Information Facility, or GBIF. If you want to learn more about either of those two systems, there are links here that you can click on to learn more. Going back a little bit, the main part of Darwin Core is the observation of an organism at a particular place in time. In Darwin Core, this is known as an occurrence, and these are basically the main part of what we will be working on in this workshop, sharing occurrence data. Darwin Core is, a set of terms, and these give structure to the information. And so they have definitions. These terms have definitions, but the actual format of the data is what's called Darwin Core archives. A Darwin Core archive is not anything complex. It's just a zipped folder containing the data, which is one or several tab separated files, an ecological metadata language EML XML file, which describes the data set, and then a meta.xml file, which describes what's in the zip folder. So it's really pretty simple. You can click here to download an archive and look at it for yourself and kind of get a sense of it. So the main part of what we'll be doing here and what you need to do to start getting your data shared to OBIS or GBIF is a Darwin Core mapping. Basically, what you need to do is you need to take your data that you have and map it to the Darwin Core terms. So we have an exercise here for you to do where you can try that out. We have some example column headers with some example data, and we want you to go and find which Darwin Core terms these match to best. And the way I like to go do that when I'm doing this Darwin Core mapping process is to go to the Darwin Core quick reference guide. So here is where all the Darwin Core terms are listed. And, there's a couple ways you can navigate. Sometimes if I'm just looking for a term in particular, maybe something related to a term, so maybe I'm looking for just date. I'll do a search like that, and then that helps me find I might click on that and read the definition and see, oh, okay, this matches the information I have in my date field, or it doesn't. But this is one way to navigate in here. The other way is that these are the Darwin Core classes. So here's occurrence, which we just talked about. And at the top here, you can see all the terms in those classes. Now, the way these are organized, it might not resonate for you right now, but it's helpful to see, okay, here's a list of terms, a bunch of terms listed here together. And then if one catches your eye, you can click on it and you can read the definition about it. So that's how I like to navigate in the quick reference guide. So after you do that, one of the major things that we'll be working on in this workshop is getting data shared to OBIS. And so what you might want to know, there's a lot of terms in Darwin Core. So what are the required terms? What are the ones I absolutely have to have in order to share data to OBIS? So that's what's in this table here are the terms that are required to sharing to OBIS and a few that are required for GBIF. So you can see all of those here with their definitions and some examples. We also have terms that you can consider that are really helpful to have, like depth is really important for OBIS. And then the coordinate uncertainty in meters, which kind of gives you the uncertainty around geolocation. Those can be really important for downstream analyses. So, consider trying to incorporate these if you can. And then basically what we want you to do now is to map your data if you haven't done that already. So the main exercise after this talk is to take your data and create a Darwin core mapping, and it'll kind of look like what's up here. Sorry for the scrolling, but it'll look like this, where you have your term, maybe in a spreadsheet or something, you have your terms here, and then you'll have which Darwin core term those map to. And that will help you with getting started with, okay, how am I actually going to format my data to Darwin core? And we can, of course, help you with that. So that's a quick sort of overview of Darwin core and what's on this page for you, and we'll be moving into breakouts.